In this discussion, I'm going to talk about vector analysis using 6 leads. In an earlier talk, I used the Einthoven triangle using only the 3 leads in the frontal plane to estimate the mean electrical axis of the heart. In this talk, I'm going to use all 6 electrodes. That is the 3 Einthoven triangle leads plus now the augmented leads. The augmented voltage leads are labeled AVR for right, AVL for left, and AVF for foot. And they appear in this triangle in this fashion. Notice that all of the positive electrodes are placed in the corners of the Einthoven triangle. So the right shoulder, the left shoulder, and the left leg or foot. So the negative electrodes then are all joined inside the machine using resistors located here, here, and here in order to avoid shorting. This example is for a mean electrical axis of about 60 degrees. 2 things to notice here. First, in 60 degrees, the isoelectric or biphasic lead is AVL. Notice that the downward and upward deflections are of approximately equal size. We call that biphasic or isoelectric. And what that means is that the signal is traveling perpendicularly to this lead. If we go over on the triangle, we can see that perpendicular is along this, perpendicular to AVL is right along this way. Now that also means if it's perpendicular to AVL, it's parallel to lead 2. The other thing you'll notice is that AVR is inverted, and that's because a 60-degree axis is moving in this direction. So it's going from the positive to the negative electrodes. Everything is flipped upside down. In this diagram here, I'm showing the protractor and the Einthoven triangle and the augmented leads. And the reason I extended them all the way to the triangle is to point out the fact that each of these augmented leads is exactly perpendicular to one of the 3 Einthoven triangle leads, leads 1, 2, and 3. So that for AVR is perpendicular to lead 3, AVL is perpendicular to lead 2, AVF is perpendicular to lead 1. Now let's see why this is important. This is a standard printout from an electrocardiogram. In a standard printout, and by the way this only applies to standard printouts, we see leads 1, 2, and 3 over here on the left, AVR, AVL, AVF, and then the chest leads, which we won't talk about here. And the bottom trace is called a rhythm trace. If the printout is non-standard, then of course this particular technique won't apply. So how do we remember which ones are perpendicular to each other? Well, one easy way is to draw a diagonal line between 1 and AVF. Those 2 are perpendicular to one another. Another diagonal line between 3 and AVR. Those 2 are perpendicular to one another. And another line strike through between 2 and AVL. Those 2 are perpendicular to each other. If you remember this setup, then it's very easy as long as you've got a standard printout. We've seen this EKG in the 3-lead discussion, and I'm going to use it again, only now I'm going to take advantage of these augmented leads. So let's look for an isoelectric or biphasic lead. Well, this is not it. It's upwardly deflected. That's downwardly deflected. Again, that's downwardly deflected. Over here we see a downward, upward, and right here what we see is something that is very close to isoelectric. So I'm going to call that our isoelectric lead right there. So using the diagram, we go diagonally down to lead 3, and now we know that the axis, the mean electrical axis, is parallel with lead 3. So we know it's moving parallel to lead 3. Now if we look at our protractor, we'd see parallel to lead 3 is going to be minus 60 or 120. All we have to do is notice that the downward deflection means it's pointing toward the negative electrode of lead 3. So it's moving in this direction toward the negative electrode, which is minus 60 degrees. Minus 60. And we saw this in the 3-lead discussion. using a slightly different technique in which we didn't have the augmented electrode. So if we look at a normal conduction system, and orange here represents the conduction pathway, we see the electrical activity comes down the right branch, it comes down the left branch, and it also comes across this anterior fascicle from the left branch. If we look at the activity, we would see then that the normal axis is running in this direction, from the AV node in this direction. Now, in that particular example that I just showed you, if I had an anterior fascicle or an anterior branch block right here, the activity can still go down the right, go down the left, but it cannot come across. As a result, the information must come back up through the fascicles or through the myocardia, and that gives you an axis pointing up in this direction. If you hit pause, you can then sit and read some of the causes for these different deviations. Let me move on to the computer simulation, and we'll try a few of these. In this simulation, I'm looking at the protractor here, the Einthoven triangle, leads 1, lead 2, lead 3, and the augmented leads, AVL, AVR, AVF. And over here, I'm just plotting the R waves. And in this example, we can see that the isoelectric lead is not biphasic because it's easier just to draw a straight line. In biology, there are rarely straight lines, so this would be slightly up, slightly down, and we would see a biphasic lead. So let's look at this. The biphasic or isoelectric lead is AVL, which means I'm perpendicular to AVL, therefore I must be parallel to lead 2. Lead 2 is upwardly deflected, so it's parallel to lead 2, moving toward the positive electrode 60 degrees. We move this around to 30 degrees. We can see we're perpendicular to lead 3, it's the isoelectric, which means we must be parallel to AVR. AVR is downwardly deflected, so the electrical activity is moving from the positive to the negative electrode, and we have a 30-degree axis. Move this up to 0, we see AVF is the isoelectric. It's perpendicular to AVF, must be parallel to lead 1. So again, we come up here with our diagonal, we look at lead 1, and we see it's upwardly deflected, so the activity is moving toward the positive electrode 0 degrees. And we could continue doing this. This was the example we just saw, minus 60. There's our isoelectric. There's our parallel to lead 3, minus 60 degrees. Here we can see lead 1 is perpendicular, so it's parallel to AVF. AVF is pointing downward, so it must be moving toward the negative electrode, and we're moving up in this direction toward minus 90 degrees. Now what I'm going to do is hide the axis. I'm going to run a random number generator to come up with an axis, and that axis is going to then project the electrode R waves. Here's one. Well, there's no real isoelectric, but lead 2 comes pretty close. It's definitely smaller than AVR. So if we call that the isoelectric or the biphasic, we come over to AVL, and we say it's parallel to AVL and positively directed. So it's moving toward the positive electrode, which would be minus 30. However, it's not quite minus 30. Lead 2 is a little negative, so we have to move up a little bit, and we say somewhere around minus 40. Well, let's just look. Exactly minus 40. In this example, we can see the isoelectric, or nearly so, is lead 3, so we come up here to AVR, and we see it's positively deflected. So it's perpendicular to lead 3, parallel to AVR. AVR is positive, so it's moving up toward the positive lead. That's at about minus 150. You might make an estimate and say, well, that's a little bit positive, so we can move a little bit toward lead 3's positive electrode, which would be a little bit in this direction, so instead of 150, you might estimate 155. Well, let's see. Minus 154, not bad. This one's kind of an interesting one because we don't see any isoelectric leads. In this case, lead 1 and AVR are almost the same size. We could actually take advantage of that and say, let's assume this is the isoelectric lead, therefore we're parallel to AVF and negative. That would be minus 90. But let's assume that that wasn't it. Let's say this is the isoelectric lead, AVR, which means it is parallel to lead 3. Lead 3 is negatively deflected. So if it's perpendicular to AVR and parallel to lead 3, that would be minus 60. But it's not minus 90 or minus 60, it's somewhere in between here. Let's just look and see. Minus 77. So it's between minus 60 and minus 90. I would have estimated about minus 75, but it came out minus 77. We'll try just one more. Here we can see AVF is the isoelectric or biphasic lead. It's perpendicular to AVF, which means it's parallel to lead 1. But lead 1 is negatively deflected, which means it's pointing toward the negative electrode. That would put us at about 180. Plus or minus 180 are going to be the same. Let's look at that. 178. That concludes this talk on 6-lead estimate of the mean electrical axis of the heart.